The gleaming cars reflected the showroom lights, sparkling with luxury. But one figure stood out, making the brightness seem dull. Jamal, wearing a tattered coat and worn-out shoes, stood quietly, scanning the rows of polished vehicles. Then he heard it. The manager's loud, mocking voice, pointing, laughing, and humiliating him in front of customers. The taunts echoed, sharp and cruel, cutting through the pristine air. This wasn't just embarrassment. It was something more profound, more personal. Could Jamal leave with his dignity intact, or would this be the moment that changed everything? Every eye in the room felt like it weighed on him. Watch until the end to see how a single moment can alter a person's life forever. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Jamal loved cars. Every day, he walked through the showroom admiring each vehicle, imagining the stories behind the polished exteriors and sleek designs. Today, he had arrived early, hoping to impress the new manager who had just started. He wore his old coat frayed at the sleeves and shoes patched from years of wear, trying to appear neat despite limited means. The showroom shone under bright lights, each car reflecting a perfection Jamal admired. Yet, something felt wrong the moment he stepped closer to the manager. The man's face twisted in contempt, voice rising into a shout, mockery, ridicule, laughter. Jamal's chest tightened. He knew this was no ordinary day. This moment would challenge him, test his patience, and push his resilience to the limit in ways he hadn't expected. Each step toward the rows of cars felt heavier, and each glance from the manager was a reminder that he was being singled out not for his work, but for the way he looked. The manager's shouts grew louder, echoing among the shiny cars and filling the room with humiliation. Jamal felt every word like a weight pressing down on him. Customers turned their heads, whispers spreading like wildfire, some awkward, some cruel. He tried to concentrate on his work, inspecting vehicles, straightening brochures, but the mocking voice cut through everything. Every glance from the manager, every pointing finger, made him shrink inwardly. Hours crawled by. A minor mistake, a brochure misplaced, a detail overlooked, was blown up in front of everyone. The manager's smirk, the exaggerated gestures, and the way he emphasized Jamal's carelessness made him burn with anger and shame. Yet Jamal held himself together. He had survived worse. He refused to let one person's cruelty define him. Rumors began to circulate. Claims of inappropriate behavior, whispered complaints, fed by the manager's subtle digs. Emails went unanswered, requests for guidance ignored. Every door felt closed, every smile around him a mask hiding judgment. The showroom, a place of elegance and beauty, had become a battlefield. Then a notification arrived, an urgent email with the manager's signature. Hands trembling, Jamal opened it. One word jumped out: termination. Just 1 hour after being mocked and humiliated in front of customers, his job was over. The shock and disbelief struck him harder than the insults ever could. Jamal froze, heart pounding, eyes locked on the screen. Terminated. A single cold word that erased hours of effort, hours of dignity. He had done nothing wrong. The world around him continued. Customers chatting, phones ringing, staff moving between cars, but for him, time had stopped. He realized this wasn't just about one manager or one job. It was the system itself, a silent, pressing force that mocked, humiliated, and discarded people like him. Fear, anger, and frustration collided inside him, threatening to overwhelm, yet a spark remained. He would not be broken entirely. In that moment, Jamal understood the harsh truth. The world could ridicule him, attempt to erase him, but he alone controlled whether the story ended with despair or defiance. The question hung heavy in the air. What would he do next? Would he allow this cruelty to define him or rise above it, making his voice heard? Jamal walked out of the showroom, coat pulled tight, the chill of the evening cutting against his skin. The humiliation lingered, but so did clarity. He was not alone. Each step represented the thousands who had faced similar injustices, whose dreams had been suppressed by prejudice. That night, Jamal shared his story. Forums, social networks, friends. His voice reached far beyond the showroom walls. The response was overwhelming. Messages of support, solidarity, and outrage poured in. People understood because they had lived it, seen it, or feared it. Jamal realized one manager could take away a job, but no one could erase his dignity or his story. The incident became a spark, highlighting the subtle and overt ways racism persists, hidden in laughter, gestures, and policies. Jamal's story was not unique, but by speaking out, he empowered others. Looking at the night sky, he asked himself, how many showrooms, how many managers will continue to treat people this way? And how long before enough voices rise to say, enough? Which country and city are you watching from? Take care.